Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome to Capitalism and Coffee. I am Ryan Daniel Moran. It is July 9th, 2020. Feels like it could be July 9th, 2020. Hey, if you are joining me live, please hurry, 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 hurry. Grab your cup, grab your mug, grab your cup, your chalice, your stein, your tankard, your thermos, your vessel of any kind. Whew, we need this. We need this one together, world. We need this one together as a world. So grab your dopamine hit of the day. Yes, that is a sheer ripoff of Scott Adams. And join me now for the thing that finally makes all this quarantine nonsense a little bit better. It's the simultaneous sip. Go. Oh, I needed that one. Good morning, Herb. If you're watching live, please say hello in the comments. Good morning, Rhino from Louisiana. Good to see you. All right, so let's chat. Texas is preparing for quarantine round number 2. So it appears, according to the city council in Austin, that we'll be going into lockdown again starting this weekend. So I am predicting the end of the world. Here's what's going to happen. This is the natural order of things. This past week, I had my buddy Jesse Elder at the house, and we did a podcast together that'll be released here in a couple of weeks. But he and I were predicting what is going to happen as a result of things progressing the way that they are progressing. So it's interesting. He and I haven't seen each other in about 6 months, and we haven't compared notes on this, but we have both independently concluded that this inevitably leads to the end of the world. So this is how this plays out. We're probably going to go back into quarantine or go back into lockdown. And even if that doesn't happen, human beings are now trained to stay home, to stay separate from one another. And the areas that opened up early, like Austin, are probably going to go back into lockdown. So what happens when you have a bunch of people who go into lockdown for an extended period of time and then are trained and told and marketed to stay away from one another? Well, human behavior is going to be basically permanently changed. And so the momentum that we have had previously, where we have gone out and connected, is now coming inward. And we're now prioritizing smaller groups, smaller families. It's just inevitable that it's going to be people buying up 40 acres and building their own little towns and cities. And that is going to be that's going to be round 2. We have now permanently adjusted our expectations of human beings. Downtowns are going to become far less attractive. So if you're in a downtown area, move, go to the suburbs. Your property values are going to go down in the city and up in the suburbs. And then here's what's going to happen. Here's where the end of the world happens. You then have such a focus inward, where you have these small jurisdictions of 50 to 100 acres that have their own rules, that have their own families, that have their own specialties, that have their own beliefs. Just like, it's a good analogy. If you've ever grown up in the church, I grew up in the church. I was in the North American Baptist Church. If a North American Baptist boy went to a Southern Baptist church, different culture, different people, different beliefs, different music, still Baptist. Now, stay with me here. The same thing will happen when you have people, families, now building a homestead on 40 acres. The entire family tree and their friends are now living on a compound. It's going to look very different than the one next door. And that, my friends, is the end of the world. There will be no more need for country, state, even city. It will just be jurisdiction. And over the next 50 years, you will see the end of the world. and instead the start of your own world where you are creating the rules, you decide who is there with you, and people will shop different compounds. They'll say, oh, they're vegan over here. Well, you need to be a member over here. That one doesn't require a membership, and it'll all be 1 mile from each other. And you can literally choose the life that you will have. But my friends, that's only the first round. We're going to play this out over 100 years, and that's where aliens come in. But first, a bunch of you joined late today. Good to see all of you. So I think we owe all of you a simultaneous sip as a welcome back to Capitalism and Coffee. So quick, go grab something. If you don't have a drink, grab your bobblehead Jesus. Quick, grab something. You ready? Here we go. Join me now for the simultaneous sip. It's the thing that makes everything, even quarantine, just a little bit better. Go! Oh, I could feel all of your energy on that. I could actually feel the energy of this. This is wonderful. Good morning, Matthew Turner. Good morning, Sue Anderson. You're my favorite person. Good morning, Drew Hitchcock. You're my fourth favorite person. Sue, my 2 kids, and then Drew. Hi, Myra. Hi, Adam. Hello, Meet Patel. Hello, Miroslav. Hello, Brian. Hello, Nobi. Good to have you back. Hello, Abdullah. Hello, Imran. Hello, Gregory Lee Marie. Sorry, I botched your name. What's up, Greg? Good to see you, dude. Hey, Brian Fitch. Good to see you. All right, so let's do this. Part two. Where do aliens fall into this? Hi, Scott. Hello, Judson Morgan's here, everybody. Hello, Marius. Judson, I've thought of you. I think of you. This is weird to say. I think of Judson Morgan every day. Isn't that weird? We've met like 9 times. Think of you every day. Sip to that. Hello, Zach Hammer. Hello, Richard Bull. Hello, Marius. Hello, Scott. Thank you all for hanging out with me on Capitalism and Coffee. All right, now let's talk about aliens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. So we've just predicted the end of the world, right? So the end of the world will be the end of the big state. It'll also be the end of the big religion. And now we have microcosm religion, microcosm beliefs, microcosm governments. Everything is going to go micro. Everything is going micro. So, at the same time, as human beings are going micro, the human species is going macro. Elon Musk is going to get his way. In the next decade, we'll have people on Mars. So what happens when you have people on Mars and you have a culture of individual jurisdictions? You have human beings who are starting to look a little more different over a few generations. People stay in their jurisdiction. We start to micro-evolve. We start to look a little bit different one another. Then we have these other people on Mars who have their own jurisdictions. Then Elon's like, Neptune's next, bitches. And then we land on Neptune or whatever. And now we have expansion of the galaxy. And that, my friends, is where aliens come from. Aliens are just future human beings. That's it. Just future human beings played out over a few hundred or a few thousand years once we've left Earth and our culture has changed. They have less muscle mass because they have less need for it. They have bigger brains with bigger eyes because it's dark out there. That's it. That's what aliens are. There's no people out there. It's just human beings. Later. That's it. Yes, these are the things that I think about in quarantine. I have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about today. Good morning, Brandon in Canada. Good to see you. Oh, by the way, I want to give a special thanks. I have a lot to talk about today, but I want to give a special thanks to those of you who are watching on YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, please just say something in the comments. Put your favorite curse word or something in the comments. I just want to say hello to all of you who are specifically on YouTube. Ben is. He's watching, talking about The Expanse. Hello, CJ. Loves talking about aliens. Hey, Brian Fritch. Judson Morgan, of course you're watching on YouTube because you're just a good human. That's what you are. Who else? Rhino's watching on YouTube. Scott is watching on YouTube. Susan Anderson's watching on YouTube. Of course, Drew Hitchcock is watching on YouTube. Drew, I got to tell you, we're very excited to work with you, my friend. We're really excited to work with you. Hey, Kyle, thanks for watching on YouTube. Drew lives and breathes YouTube. Hey, Do Work from Montreal. Yes, Zach, hop over to YouTube, please. Okay, my caffeine. Hey, Russ in Alabama. All right, so my caffeine hasn't quite kicked in yet, which means that I'm just not ready to make a splash into the topic. So let me just pound some coffee. There we go. I'm going to start feeling it. Let me give you a quick preview of what's about to happen. In a couple of weeks, we will be finalizing. We'll be finalizing a nootropic drink additive that you throw in your coffee, and it lights you up. I mean, it just lights you up. It's like flow state in a cup. So that is my new physical products brand that will be launching here in a couple weeks. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You and I will be flipping our on switch here in a few weeks together when we are drinking coffee and enjoying the simultaneous sip with dopamine and serotonin boosters that'll make coffee and capitalism even better. Sean says, like a pre-workout? No, very different than a pre-workout. You'll see. Just stick with me for a couple of weeks. Okay, so I want to tell you the advice that I gave myself yesterday. So yesterday was one of those days as an entrepreneur when I was just, I was just feeling it, right? I'm moving right now. This house isn't even on the market right now, and I just bought another house, and that's a little bit stressful. And Vinny wants to know what brand of coffee. This is black. It's black brand. So selling this house, moving into another house, and a lot of uncertainty going on around, like, are my kids is my daughter gonna go to school? She's gonna start school. We're moving to get her into the school we wanted to get her into. Like, how is this all gonna play out? Texas is going back into lockdown. You know, what the H is happening? So I was chatting with one of my mentors. His name is Ajit Nawalka. Great guy. Hire him. Listen to everything he says. And Ajit and I were talking about challenges that I was hitting on the business side of things, and how we were kind of running into some barriers when it comes to acquiring customers. I'll tell you what he told me in just a second. But one of my friends called me around the same time. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm kind of going through a rut. I'm going through like some challenges right now. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure what to focus on. I have this opportunity, but I don't really want it. Like, I've got this thing that checks all my boxes and is a great financial win, and I really should do it, but I don't want to do it. And I said, okay, well, that's interesting. It sounds to me like the old version of you would have loved to have all those check boxes checked off, and now you just don't want it. Is that right? He's like, yeah, I just don't want it. I was like, how long do you think it will take you to motivate yourself to do something that you do not want to do? Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like trying to date a person that you're not really into. It's just not going to happen, is it? Nope, not going to happen. So with that in mind, I'm chatting with my mentor, and we're talking about how we have this one initiative that is just not taking. And I said, you know what I would really like to do? And it was specifically, this is our book funnel. So my book is selling well. My book is moving. 81 reviews, 78 of them are 5 stars. Awesome. Feedback has been great. If you haven't read it, you're missing out. It's called 12 Months to 1 Million. It's on Amazon. It's selling really well, but our book funnel is not performing to the numbers that we would like. So the advice that I was looking for was, how do we fix this book funnel? And I said to my mentor, I said, Ajit, if I was you, I would tell myself to stop doing things that I don't like doing and just focus on the things that I really like doing, because that's the purpose of business in the first place. He's like, that's exactly the advice that I'm going to give you. And as soon as we said it, all the ideas started flooding, and all of the ideas and all the momentum started to come out, and all of the things that I've been sitting on, and all the things that I wanted to do but wasn't letting myself do, all of the new stuff, all the fun stuff, all the stuff that was growth, all the stuff that was fun, all the stuff that was in service to other people, all the stuff that felt effortless, or boom, 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 coming out. Same thing happened with my friend. As soon as I told my friend, stop looking at what meets the check boxes and start looking at what do you actually want, he was like, oh, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. I want to do this project, and this project, and this project, and this project. I don't want to do that one, and that one, and that one. Boom. The biggest hurdle that we place in front of ourselves, especially as entrepreneurs, is that we don't do the things that we want to do. We do the things that we are forcing ourselves to do because we're going for a specific result. And I love results, but results usually come on the other side of really good work. And really good work comes when you are in flow, when you are in the motion of doing the things that you like, that you want to do. And so you have to go first by prioritizing what it is that you think is important to you. And the result ends up being that money and influence and all other things start to show up in order to support you. And so when you feel stuck, the advice that I give clients is going back to what it is that you want rather than what you think you should do. And yesterday, I needed that myself. Yesterday, I needed that reminder myself. So I will drink to that. Let's see what's going on in the stock market, eh? I think I predicted that we were going to pop up. And, as of today, we are down. We're right where we were when we chatted a couple of days ago, so we're right at the same point. I still think that we're at a delicate point of support, but that the end result is going to be that we pop up. I think we're going to have a nice pop up for the next few weeks, and then we'll see. But I think that the data suggests that we're going to have a nice little spike here over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll see. Hey, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link to join me in the comments here. So this is just going over to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube and you want to come chat with me, just click that little link right there, and it will bring you into the room with me, and I can bring you up, and we can talk about business or aliens or whatever is on your mind today. So if you've got a question about business, investing, or direction that you want to go ahead and click that link. It'll bring you into the room, and you and I can chat about where to go next. What else? I'll tell you what else. What I'm really excited about right now is we are launching some new physical products brands that I'm so proud of and so pumped about. So we basically got this structure in place to be able to launch brands that are exciting and to launch ideas that we just think are fun. And building up the structure to be able to do that on repeat and just do the ones that are fun, oh man, it's just so much fun. Hey, Brandon, I see you in the room. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to join me. All right, let's do this. And I lost you. Where did you go? I hit add you in and you disappeared. This is weird. Did I accidentally kick you out? Brandon, come back. Brandon, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong and I shouldn't have clicked that button. Come back, Brandon. I don't know what happened, but I apologize. I said about something before then. We have built the structure for to be able to build these brands and just do the ones that are exciting. So we're doing food companies and health companies and nootropic companies and just stuff that sounds like frickin' fun. And I predict that as a result of that, one of those businesses will be the biggest business that I have ever built, because it's just going to be fun. We're also just getting ready to launch the Capitalism Incubator. Capitalism Incubator is going to be where I bring in everybody from my network and we start incubating companies. And so somebody can go from an idea to a profitable business within about a year's time. I'm going to surprise Judson Morgan being with us. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
It's good to see you. Who do we have? Who's this guest we have with us?
This is my son Shepard.
What's up, Shepard?
Philip's best friend.
They can be Zoom friends for the next year or so.
Yeah, I know, or for life. Maybe we'll join the same commune with you guys.
That sounds great, because I'm ready. I am ready to go full on commune.
I'm sure Zach has a spot already.
He's building that out quick, man. He is ahead of the rest of the world on his compound here in Austin. Yeah. What's going on with you?
Well, I didn't want to. I'm watching two children, so I didn't want to jump on. But then you just said that thing where you said, okay, so we have a structure in place for like building sort of brands whenever the good ideas come or the right people. I just kind of wanted to, maybe as I was clicking over to StreamYard, I think you were actually saying a little bit of details about that structure. But I just kind of wanted to hear like what, do you have a team in place? I mean, do you have like operators? Are you going to put CEOs in place? Like how do you guys envision building out like multiple brands?
Yeah, great question. So I originally started doing this because I wanted to train my internal team on the physical products model and mindset, because right now I'm the only person on the team who's built the physical products brand, and a lot of our content is around building physical products brand. So I was like, all right, let's pick a fun project and let's train the team on how to do this. But it's been so much fun that team, specifically my main project manager, is really sinking her teeth into learning this process, and she might at some point move into full on managing the brand side of things. But the vision of how we will structure it moving forward is we'll have the little core team of the four of us that comes up with the idea, comes up with the branding, comes up with the product line, launches it, and lights the fire. And then we'll hire an outside brand manager or CEO to take that business and to grow it. And now it'll be we'll have the holding company that starts the ideas, and then we'll bring in the CEO who will build it out as their own empire. Does that make sense?
I think so. So is that similar to Brian? Brian
Lee?
Yeah.
Brian Lee's a little bit different because he does one business at a time, and now he's a full-time investor in businesses. So he has his company, it's called BAM Ventures, and BAM is like it's more like a venture fund where they have capital and then they invest it into these businesses, and then they help them find the CEO. But the business has already started. They're not out there starting the businesses themselves.
Right. Sorry, I'm managing this little guy.
Oh, I completely understand.
Yeah. So, yeah, because when you were talking about, 10 minutes ago about the doing things that are fun, that's where I'm like a 10 out of 10 quick start. And so, starting things just sounds so fun to me.
Oh yeah.
And then as the older they get, the less fun it gets for me, right? Like managing details, like HR, I want to whatever the things that you have to deal with having a company that are a couple years old or whatever. And
so how do you stay in quick start mode without having to go into manage all the stuff mode? I know, Shepard. It's really, really scary when you have to start managing HR and details and all of that. It's so scary. Well,
I like the idea of you putting structure in place around you because and to be able to do things stay in the place where it's fun. Your
Yeah.
fun stuff. But you were going to say something.
So my strategy, the way that I handle this is, I think I might have given this advice to you, which was I allow myself to start any project I want, anything I want, when I have a partner who is the builder on it. But I'm not allowed to start anything unless I have the person who is overseeing that. I have to stay in my lane. But as soon as I have a partner on it, oh my goodness, like I can fire off ideas, I can light that fire, and it's great, and they love it, and then they're going to take it and run with it, and 3 months are going to go by, and then I have more ideas, and we're going to pour more gasoline on that fire. So my internal structure is this is literally everyone who works for me. I have somebody who manages my personal life, somebody who manages my business life, somebody who manages our projects, and somebody who manages our content. So I literally have a partner on all the major focuses that I will dive into and start getting into the details. So that is how I am able to stay crazy 9 out of 10 quick start and have other people who then can catch the idea and run with it. And together we're all magic. We're all magic. Alone, I'm just a crazy workaholic who's worried about paying the rent.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, maybe that's enough for this morning. Wonderful to see you.
Good to see you, man. I miss you. I miss people in general, but I miss you in particular. So it's good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with me, man.
Good to see you.
All right, see you, bud. I was complimenting Judson on mute so that nobody could hear me. I'm sitting here going, he's a good dude, but I was muted and you couldn't hear it. Hey, Jack Porter Smith, I see you. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on. All right. And by the way, Brandon, I'm sorry we got disconnected. Please come back. I'm sorry we ended on that note. Hello, Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hey, Ryan. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I was a bit confused there. I've never done this before, and I wasn't expecting to be doing this.
Me neither. I've never done this before either.
Yeah, I figured. I think there's like a 2-second delay on the actual stream before I close that off.
I see. Okay, cool. Well, what's up? What's on your mind?
First of all, I want to thank you, actually. Been quietly consuming your content for a few years. And
that's great. Thank you.
Toyed with the idea of Backroom, but just wasn't the right time last year.
Cool.
So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, totally wasn't prepared for this, but I suppose I'd be curious if you had any advice for a marketing agency owner, because that's what I am. Done it for 15 years, had the agency for 7, doing really well, especially considering the pandemic and the lack of control we have that creates with our clients. But yeah, that's generally what's always on my mind, is how to make my agency better, faster, healthier, safer. And just wondered if you had any tips, I suppose. Or
yeah, so I mean, if I was running a marketing agency right now, I would be like, well, who's your ideal client? Before I give you my prescription, tell me, just think of one of your favorite clients in your mind and tell me about them and why you've enjoyed working with them and why they're an ideal client for you.
Yeah, that's an interesting place to start. The client I'm thinking about, family owned for a very long time, like generational. To the average human, they're probably seen like a large company, but they're not technically a large company. You know what I mean? Like they spend maybe $5-6 million a year on advertising, but they're not a juggernaut. Typically, there'll be one senior marketing person that reports to the family ownership. That's it. So no crazy lines of bureaucracy and CISOs and CTOs and CMOs coming out your ears. And actually, the great thing about these guys is they have B2C and B2B. The same product is applicable to both, which has a lot of advantages in my mind. So, those, technical specifications, just beyond them being hopefully good humans and fun for me and my team to work with, is roughly where I'd be at.
Okay, great. And what did they come to you for that you helped them with?
They had been with the same previous agency for, I think, 12 years. And they had one of their worst years in history. So they found us organically, filled out the contact form, and the essence of it was, we're declining badly, and we need someone to reset all of our online marketing stuff and turn the tide. And yeah, that was really the big issue for them. They were just struggling.
Okay, beautiful. So Jack, this is exactly what I was hoping you were going to say, but I didn't know if it was the case. So that's why I asked you to tell me about your favorite client. Yeah. So if I were you and I was running a marketing agency right now, my approach is remembering that there are thousands, millions of family-owned businesses who are about to have their worst year ever, who are really struggling right now and have no idea how to make the pivot online. They have no idea how to play this game right now. And so if you can get out ahead of them looking for the next opportunity of how they're going to save their family business or just save their business in general, showing that you can make the pivot to online less scary, man, that's fun. That's fun. And so how do you do that? You do that by getting videos from your customers where they tell their story, not about the results, but telling the story of where they were, telling the story about the family business, telling the story about how they started to see things go down and how they were really worried. And then painting the future of what they did and how working with Jack's agency changed the trajectory of their business. You don't have to teach. You just have to show who the ideal client is and where they were before they worked with you and where they were after they worked with you. So I think a lot of people in your shoes would be tempted to teach the Gary Vee model, to show like all the things they do, all the ins and outs of how it works. And I don't think that's the right play. I think the right play is going to those people who have no idea how that works and just showing them the results that you can get for them. I'm guessing you're doing like Facebook ads and other advertising. Is that the case?
Yeah, we're predominantly Google ads. Probably 20% is Facebook. And to be honest, that's about it. I made a very clear choice not to bolt SEO and web development and social management on. I always wanted to stay focused here, and that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I think it's your bread and butter is going to those businesses, showing the video reel of these clients talking about working with you. And then when you do give advice, like when you do teach stuff, do it in more of like an analysis of how a business can stay relevant, of how, like, if I would do a video that was like how restaurants in such and such a city can survive the pandemic, or how roofers can find new clients even when the economy's in the toilet. I would be doing it for the specific types of clients that you're trying to get. I'll give you a quick example. I often will play over in my brain, like, what would I do if I was the owner of the Cleveland Indians right now? Or what would I do if I was a CEO of that company right now? And so I just recorded a bunch of new videos for YouTube, and one of them was what I would do if I was the CEO of JetBlue right now. Just because I first of all, if they see it, that's freaking awesome. But number two, it just primes other people who are watching that I know what I'm talking about as the leader of an organization. And then maybe they'll hire me as a consultant or give me equity in the company. Who knows? Yeah. But the more you can give that type of analysis rather than teaching what to do, I think that sets you up as an authority far more than what most people are doing, which is like, let me show you how I'm an expert in Google Ads. And then you just get followers who are other Google Ads experts.
Yes, it's something I try very hard, is to focus on the business outcome of what we do rather than really it. I try not to talk about it too much. But I love that. I don't know, how many questions am I allowed?
19.
You jumped away from me.
I mean, my last question for you is, how much are you doing on LinkedIn?
In terms of our activity on it, or ads for clients?
No, your own activity on it.
Very little. We've grown the first 7 years almost entirely on referrals and networks. And this year is the first year we've literally even created social profiles for the agency to push ourselves to another level. So 0 right now is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, if I were you, that would be my main content play for when you do the analyses of industries and individual businesses.
Yeah.
Is because that's where all your ideal clients are. We don't need to guess at it. They're already on LinkedIn, and they're looking for other opportunities on LinkedIn.
So you're talking narrative, short videos focused on business problems and outcomes, targeted to our dream customers through boosted posts from the company's LinkedIn page.
That's right. If from an ad perspective, I'd be using Facebook as well.
Yeah.
But from a content perspective, what you just said is exactly what I'm suggesting. And then I would niche it down one step further. And for your, like, the content you do on a regular basis, I would be doing industry specific and even company specific content about how they can survive right now.
Yeah. That to me, the only thing I stumble with there is I never want to be seen as a fear monger or someone capitalizing on fear. I'm not just seen that, but I don't want to do it either.
Well, you don't have to, because they're already, human beings are survival beings. We're already in it. Yeah. So you don't have to. So your video is not, or your content is not, the world's melting. The world is, hey, I'm Jack. I know you run such and such a business, and I know a lot of the things that our clients have been seeing is that print ads and newspaper ads and TV ads and even some online stuff isn't working as well as it used to. And so I just wanted to show you a couple other options of what we've done with other clients. Testimonial video.
Yeah.
Right? So you can address where they are and still be optimistic. You can address where they are without telling them the house is burning down if they don't work with you.
Yeah. I like that. Thank you very much.
You bet. It's good to meet you, man. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning.
I'll be less of a lurker in the future.
Sounds good, man. Thanks, Jack.
Take care, mate.
All right, take care. How fun. What else? Let me just give a quick call to action for those of you. If you are not following us on YouTube, please make an effort. Don't make an effort. Just open up a tab, search us on YouTube. Let me start this over. Hey, folks, to wrap this up, I'm going live between 2 and 3 times a week. It looks like we're going to be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. publicly. And then on Sundays, we're going live inside the 1%, where we're getting our hands dirty in individuals' businesses and also bringing on the guests that I hand select in order to mentor my students. So please ensure that you are subscribed on YouTube to get notifications of when I go live. Sometimes I'll be going live last minute, and sometimes I'll be a little bit more planned about it, but it'll probably be 9 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube. So please search my name on YouTube and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so that you get them when we go live and we can have coffee together and talk about capitalism and coffee. It's great to see you. This is oftentimes one of the best parts of my day. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I will chat with you guys next time. Have a great day. See ya.